everyone, I'm Maddie from ATAR Wizard, and today I'm going to be talking about the biological intervention of benzodiazepines for evidence-based interventions for specific phobia. So you can grab a copy of the notes I'm going to be using, which are the complete psychology units 3 and 4 notes package from ATAR Wizard via the link in the description, and you can also book a tutoring session with me via the link in the description. I'm studying psychology at university and recently completed VCE Psychology. Without further ado, let's get to it. So, benzodiazepines are GABA, now GABA agonists. So GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. They're GABA agonists, which means they imitate or mimic the inhibitory actions of GABA in the brain. They act to slow down these neural pathways, which substitutes the lack of GABA in the brain, which occurs in GABA dysfunction. So this intervention is you're intervening for those which are suffering from GABA dysfunction, and that is what is creating this phobia. So you're substituting the lack of GABA in the brain, reducing the severity of the phobic response. Now, these are highly addictive substances. So because of this inhibitory effect, they're kind of lulling and they make you feel like you're going to have a really slow response to things. Like it's a drug and it does really impact your performance. So they're highly addictive and they're usually only used in the short term. So if you have a situation where confrontation with the phobic stimulus is unavoidable, such as you need to get on a plane flight because you have to go and see someone and you don't have time to get there any other way than getting on a plane flight, a medical professional might diagnose you a once-off use of benzodiazepines, which you can take before this flight, and you will be calmer. You won't have such an intense phobic response to the phobic stimulus of getting on the flight. They're short acting, so the effects of benzodiazepines usually peak only a few hours after initial dosage. So you take the benzodiazepine and only a few hours after the effects are at their strongest, and then they start decreasing. It's not going to work for a week. It's only going to work for a couple of hours. GABA agonists stimulate the site of the postsynaptic neurons where GABA would usually be received. So this is how they imitate the GABA. Handwriting's a bit messy today. And this causes the inhibitory effect GABA would usually have. By allowing the speed of messages along neural pathways to slow down, the severity of this phobic response is reduced. So when the neural pathways associated with your phobia cannot be activated as quickly, this slows down the phobic response and reduces the intensity of the reaction you're going to have. Whilst under the influence of benzodiazepines, many individuals report feeling that they are in a trance-like state. They don't, because these neural pathways aren't being activated, they're not really engaging with the world around them in the same way that they usually would, which is part of what makes these such an addictive substance. Now, an important note is that a lot of people have heard these benzodiazepine agents being called benzos. You cannot call them benzos in your SAC or your exam. You will not get the mark. Maybe your teacher will give you the mark if they have had some discussion where they decided that's fine. They shouldn't give you the mark. You cannot call them benzos. They are benzodiazepines, benzodiazepine agents, and they are GABA agonists. You cannot call them benzos. You will not get the mark. VCAA will definitely not give you the mark. I don't know what teacher's doing, but VCAA you will not get the mark for saying that they are benzos, even if literally everything else about your about what you are saying is correct. So that completes our episode on benzodiazepines. Again, these notes I'm using are the ATAR Wizard Complete Psychology Units 3 and 4 notes package, where we talk about biological interventions and benzodiazepines. That is the section. You can book a tutoring session with me via the link in the description, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much. Bye.